Welcome back to another beginner-friendly acrylic painting. Today we're going to paint a coneflower, so let's get started. We're going to use the same three colors we always use: phthalo blue, quinacridone magenta, and benzimidazzolone yellow, and of course some titanium white. The first thing I'm going to do is sketch in my painting with a paint pen. So we want to make sure we've got our flower in the right place. So let's have the top right here. And then let's start our petals here and here. This just gives us a roadmap so we make sure we don't make our petals too long or too short. It's just really super helpful. You can have one kind of up like that, another one under here, and then we'll have a stem that comes down like so. And I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay. I'm going to use a smaller square brush to start with. And I think our flower might be a little too low on the canvas. So I'm going to make an adjustment to that. I'm just going to raise the top up like this. And I think everything else will work just fine. We'll see when we get started painting. Okay, let's start with our yellow with some titanium white. And that's going to be the top of our flower. I want this part under the flower to be a little bit darker, so I get a little quin magenta. I'm going to just lay that in like that. Now I'm going to start with my petals. I'm going to start with quinacridone magenta, and I'm just going to pull up like this. I really want that upward feel for these ones right up here at the top. Just making the first pass at these petals. And let's pull them up a little closer to that base. Use some pretty juicy paint because we're going to blend right on the canvas. There, that gets us started. Now let's come back with some titanium white and let's come right into those wet petals on the one side. Really wet paint. This is called Alla Prima. If you've been in some of my other videos, you know how much I love to paint Alla Prima. You just blend right on the canvas. Super fun. Just using that titanium white and blending right on the canvas. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow, come back, blend right there into the wet paint already there. Now I want that petal to be underneath, so I'm going to pull that quin magenta directly into that right there. And there's another petal right here that's underneath. Let's sharpen up the edge of that one. Got a little messy with the edge. It's a little better. This up here needs to be dealt with. Okay, I think our petals are coming along pretty well. Let's have a little bit more yellow. Makes such a nice color. Just let it blend right on the canvas. Okay, I think we've done a pretty good job on our petals. Let's make this one a little bit more pointed. That's a little better of that look on that side. There we go. This one needs a little bit more of a point. Okay, all right, so our petals look pretty good. Now let's wipe our brush, wipe it really, really well. We're going to have a little bit of orangey red on there. That's all right. Don't worry about that. We're going to make a green. Take our yellow and put the tiniest amount of that phthalo in it. Tiny bit. It's just so powerful. That phthalo is just crazy. Crazy powerful. And some titanium white. And we're going to come right in here and pull straight down like so. Can kind of go right up into that. There, that's fine. Let's go off the canvas. Okay, now we're going to have some fun with the background. So if you have been in the other videos, you know we're going to set this aside for about 5 minutes, let it dry, and then we're going to paint the background. That seems backwards, doesn't it? But it's going to be really fun. Check back in 5 minutes for layer number 2. Okay, we're back and we're going to paint our background now. So we're going to mix up a really pretty teal to paint on our background. That'll be a nice complementary color to this warmer kind of orange we have here. We've got quite a bit of titanium white here. So we're going to put a teeny weeny bit of phthalo blue into it. That's going to make a light blue. And let's grab a little yellow. It's not quite dark enough, so we put just a tiny bit more phthalo into it. There we go. Mix it up really well. Make sure I don't pick up any of that pink that's right there. I think we want to go just a little bit darker. So put a little bit more phthalo. And a little bit more of our yellow. I'm going to put some fresh yellow out here. There we go. Now we can just lay that down as our background. And the fun thing about this is you can come in and delineate those leaves a little better so they don't have to be perfect when you first paint them. I'm going to switch to my number 6, and that's going to give me a nice point that I can go in and so that I can go in and really design those leaves, really make them look just perfect. It's a really fun way to work sort of backwards almost. You can cover up any mistakes you made, like that little drip that I just covered there. Super fun. Just use your round brush and go around and basically draw those leaves, those petals. And make sure when you do that you have plenty of paint. I'm going to turn this around. Make sure you make quite a bit of paint when you do this so that you have plenty to go around all of your edges. Don't worry too much about filling in the negative spaces right now. Just get the edges of the petals and the flower. Get them just the way you want them. Clean them up. And really give them definition. And when you make this background color, make sure that you make it opaque enough and put enough titanium white into it so that it will cover the petals, the color of the petals. Come down here on my stem. Give my stem a nice edge. Do the same with all my petals. You can turn the canvas. There we go. Now it's just a matter of filling in the rest of it. And if you have any places where that paint was not opaque enough, be sure that you go back and cover that. It should cover in one layer if you have put enough titanium white into the paint mixture. It should definitely cover in one layer. But sometimes you'll be covering these dark colors like what we're covering right now, and you'll find it's just not opaque enough. Okay, we're just about finished with our background. We have a couple of little details to take care of on our blossom, our coneflower. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's just take a couple of little details. I just want to make a couple of little details on our coneflower. For the top here, I want to give it a little bit of texture. So I'm going to take a flat brush, make sure it has no water in it. Take my yellow, I'm going to grab a little bit of titanium white. I just want to pat a little bit. That's a little bit too green. I think I picked up some of that blue. So let's have some clean titanium white. Wipe my brush, make sure I don't have any blue on it. Make a nice mixture with titanium white so it's nice and opaque. And then I'm just going to tap. I just wanted the edge of that, the top of that, to be a little more organic. So I just want to give it a little texture there. And just tapping with that brush, give it a little bit of texture. And then down here, I'm going to take my paint pen, fine tip paint pen, and I'm just going to give this a few little dots, just to resemble those little seeded areas of the flower. Of course, we're not painting an exact replica of a coneflower. It's an impression of a coneflower. But that just gives it a little something. All right, there we have it. That is our coneflower. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me in this beginner-friendly painting, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And remember what I always say, keep painting.